Hello, everybody. Welcome to another AI Corner for the day, February 12th. So let's get right into it. So again, we're going to be covering just some of the updates and things that are happening in AI in the industry recently. Usually not able to get the complete coverage because there is so much going on, but let's just dive right into it with some of the things that I've been seeing. So this is an update about sakana.ai receiving a supercomputing grant from the Japanese government to continue to develop their technology, their models. This first kind of popped up on the radar recently. I know Sakana did. They were a company that was founded by kind of several heavy hitters from Google to start up the AI company. About a month ago, I think they received a seed round of about $30 million. And now this is kind of following that supercomputing grant to continue development. I think they have their focus has been on developing lots of little small models that kind of work together, mimicking the way that that nature kind of the swarm effect and things like that. Nature inspired AI models. So interesting update there. We have from Hugging Face unveiling a custom AI assistance tool. So this is an open source tool, which appears to be kind of like an alternative, free alternative to the GPT builder feature inside of ChatGPT. And there's a screenshot of it that I put in here. You can see the assistance kind of area here, and there's going to be a tool to customize those and create kind of one repository for these different, as OpenAI calls them, GPTs, AI assistants in this case here. We have Arc. So interesting update from the browser company. Arc is a browser created by the browser company known as the browser company, which has been building kind of like a modern browser with different features. Now they are announcing building agents baked into the browser experience. So I think most prominently here, this browse for me feature that will be able to kind of take control and do things on behalf of the user. Yeah, just kind of following the theme of, I think, what we'll be expecting going into this year, that this kind of agent-based commerce of AI agents kind of purchasing goods and services autonomously on behalf of users and kind of being your AI assistant as you browse the internet and navigating on your behalf. We've seen ChatGPT, Perplexity, and others roll out similar kind of things, but this is kind of integrated in the browser experience itself with several other features in here. New models been coming out, Qwen 1.5, and this is a suite of models actually. It's been released, ranging in size from 500 million all the way up to 72 billion parameter count, and that has been announced and released. Appear to be focusing on just kind of these enhanced multilingual and developer-friendly features with some longer context understanding, up to 32,000 tokens. So not quite what you get with some of the other models like GPT-4 Turbo or Claude 2, but getting up there in for open source. Another update or announcement from watermarking. This has been something that I've been talking about for months in the AI corners here, that different, especially text-to-image generation services, models trying to figure out how to include watermarks that can be baked into those images, and then later allow kind of like determination if that image was synthetic or was not synthetic. So OpenAI now going to be rolling out to kind of aid this like content authenticity verification and digital trust problem. Watermarks apparently both visible and invisible inside the images, any images that will be generated through the system. So this should make it so that after the fact, it will be able to determine easily if those images were created from this source. We have kind of the general availability now of Microsoft Copilot for sales and service. So we've been following this as well. Copilot for sales and service just has a lot of integrations of generative AI inside the CRM features of different Microsoft products, Outlook, Teams, CRM, some of their other products where you can generate, emails and things like that directly inside Outlook. And this is now being rolled out and kind of generally available now, integrated with Microsoft 365. We have some advancement of the EU AI Act, a little bit on the regulation side. So this was getting a little bit stuck back in December. Looks like there's some movement here now. EU's AI Act is going to be covering lots of different areas of AI regulation. I think notably, it's gonna try to work to figure out, assess different AI systems based on their level of risk, and then kind of act accordingly. In some cases, banning outright certain uses of the technology. I think in like predictive policing was one example that the EU AI Act would ban entirely. But yeah, basically trying to set up that rubric for risk assessment and then a phased implementation. We have a new king of the Hugging Face leaderboard, and it is known here as Smaug-72B, 72 billion parameter model here, which is now sitting still at #1 in the Hugging Face leaderboard across the benchmark scores. When I did look, actually, some of the smaller parameter counts, like I think there was a 34 billion parameter size count, also sitting pretty high up in the benchmarks. And this particular model is specializing in reasoning and math tasks, and seems to be doing quite well there, even outperforming Mistral Medium on the benchmark there. We also have Microsoft Copilot being kind of AI enhanced. There's a new model that I think has been promoted to be the one that's powering Microsoft Copilot. It's being called Deucalion, and introduces some new features as well for Microsoft Copilot. Balance mode. This is, I believe there's a slider that we've seen in many of these generative AI systems where you can push it from like the being more creative on the one hand to being more precise, and Deucalion trying to enhance the balance mode, which is sitting right there in the middle of getting the best of both worlds of creativity and precision for Microsoft Copilot. Android labor advancements. I think, last year or 2 years ago, maybe if we had seen Android headlines in the news, it would have been about Google's operating system. But now, this is increasingly being about actual androids, and these are humanoid robots. Here we have just more announcements from 1X, which, again, not to be confused with X or Twitter. 1X is developing their suite of Android generative AI powered humanoid robots, which I believe their kind of high level mission is to create an abundant source of physical labor. And so these androids are, I think what's being announced here is that they're being kind of controlled by the single neural network generative AI system, from the task assessment and management, breaking that down into the actual actions that the robot needs to take in the physical world. So for example, if you tell one of these things, grab that box over there, that task has to get broken down to assessing, where am I? Are we in a warehouse? What's the safest path to navigate over to the box? How much force, do I, as the robot, need to safely apply to pick up the box with the right level of tension, and then navigate back and things like that. So yeah, this is the kind of technology that maybe one day you could see in the home, folding laundry, or in other places as well. We have had an announcement from Google with Gemini. So Bard just kind of being, previously we had seen the Gemini model suite with the 3 different sizes going up to Gemini Ultra being announced, and now Bard is kind of just being rebranded to be called Gemini, and it is being sold with this Gemini Advanced with the Ultra 1.0 model. Yeah, it is kind of being poised here to compete with ChatGPT. $20 a month subscription for the access to Gemini Ultra, and seems to kind of perform on the same on the same tier as GPT-4. So that kind of taking over Bard for Google. And that's what I got for the week. So thanks for tuning in.